Since we were children, we've been indoctrinated with a dangerous virtue. It's called sacrifice. Society tells you that to be a good parent, you must sacrifice your sleep and put your children on a pedestal. The workplace tells you that to be a good employee, you must sacrifice your health and carry the company on your shoulders. If you put yourself first, you are immediately labeled as selfish. And so, we see countless middle-aged people with heavy, dark circles under their eyes, dragging exhausted bodies through the gap between family and work, burning themselves out to light the way for others. It sounds noble, doesn't it? But in the eyes of Silicon Valley philosopher Naval Ravikant, this isn't just ignoble, it is a fundamental logical error. He proposes a hierarchy of priorities that sounds cold, even anti-human. He says, my number one priority in life, above my happiness, above my family, above my work, is my own health. Above family, above work. Why? Why would a man renowned for his wisdom say something that seems so profoundly selfish? Because this is a problem of physics, not morality. Imagine this. When your body collapses and you are lying in a hospital bed, unable to move, can you still be a good father? Can you still be a good manager? No. At that moment, you are no longer the pillar of the family. You have become their burden. You are no longer a company asset. You have become a sunk cost. Confucius said, our bodies, to every hair and bit of skin, are received from our parents, and we must not injure them. This is the beginning of filial piety. We often forget the essence of these words. Naval puts it even more bluntly. A healthy man wants 1,000 things. A sick man only wants one. When that one wish becomes, I just don't want to be in pain, then the dreams, responsibilities, and love you talk about all become luxuries. This is a final exam that no one can take for you. This brings us to our theme today, self-redemption. Welcome to Wisdom Compound. This is a digital study dedicated to the multidimensional accumulation of life. We don't sell anxiety. We break down time-tested, essential wisdom for you. If you also want to stand on the shoulders of giants in this noisy world and let your wisdom and wealth compound automatically, please subscribe to our channel. Give us a like, and share this with that one friend, the one you hope to grow old and healthy with. But before we dive deep, I must warn you, most people watch these kinds of videos just to get a quick hit of I get it, which is known as cognitive masturbation. Understanding a principle doesn't mean you can execute it. To help you truly master this mindset, make sure to watch until the end of the video. I have distilled Naval's philosophy, scattered across various interviews, into a counterintuitive action list. It isn't chicken soup for the soul, it is a concrete execution protocol. It is the key to moving from knowing to doing. So give yourself these 20 minutes. This might be the highest ROI investment of your life. All right, let's get to the heart of the matter. Why does Naval say redemption is from yourself? We live in an age of leverage. The most seductive part of modern society is outsourcing. If you have money, you can outsource your chores to a cleaning company. If you're a boss, you can outsource code to engineers and fund management to accountants. As long as you pay, there's a line of people ready to solve almost any trouble for you. This creates a dangerous illusion. We begin to think that health, happiness, and wisdom can also be outsourced. When we're sick, we feel it's the doctor's responsibility and expect to recover by taking a few pills. When we're overweight, we feel it's the fitness trainer's responsibility and expect to get thin just by buying a course. When we're anxious, we listen to a master's lecture and expect to find inner peace immediately afterward. But Naval gives us a wake-up call. He says, doctors won't make you healthy. Nutritionists won't make you slim. Teachers won't make you smart. Gurus won't make you calm. Mentors won't make you rich. Trainers won't make you fit. Does that sound hopeless? No, it is the most profound truth. Experts in society can, at most, provide maps and tools. A doctor can give you antibiotics, but they cannot fight the war for your immune system. A trainer can teach you the correct form, but they cannot lift those 100 kilograms for you, nor can they sweat for you. A wise man can tell you the truth, but he cannot experience the awakening that follows pain for you. In these core experiences of life, you are absolutely alone. 3 things can never be outsourced: your health, your peace, and your wisdom. It's like the oxygen mask rule on an airplane. When a plane hits turbulence and the masks drop, the flight attendants always tell you, please secure your own oxygen mask before assisting children or others. Think about what happens if you don't. If you try to show selflessness by frantically helping a child while you're oxygen deprived, what is the result? The result is that you pass out, the child's mask isn't on right, and both of you are finished. This is the truth behind so-called sacrifice. Often, what we call sacrifice is actually a form of escape. Escaping the responsibility of caring for ourselves, escaping the signals from our own bodies, and then using the excuse, "I'm doing it for my family," to numb ourselves. Naval said, ultimately, you have to take responsibility. Redemption is from yourself. This isn't selfishness. This is the prerequisite for being capable of love. You must first become an overflowing cup so that the water that spills over can nourish those around you. If your cup is dry, all you're giving is just an overdraw. Eventually, you will demand high interest from the world in the form of emotional blackmail or the helplessness of lying in a sickbed. So admit it, no one is coming to save you. There are no superheroes, no panaceas. In this game, you are the only player and the only referee. When you realize this, you will feel fear, but following that will be a sense of immense freedom, because it means the control has been in your hands all along. So, since we've decided not to outsource anymore, how do we fight against this well-designed modern society that tempts us to be ill? Why does Naval say we must deliberately choose hard mode? That brings us to how our brains and bodies have been hijacked by modernity. Next, let's talk about the setting of this game. You must realize that the underlying architecture of modern society is, in essence, a massive trap. Our genes, through millions of years of evolution, were designed to adapt to scarcity. On the ancient African savanna, sugar was scarce, calories were precious, and rest was for survival. So, when we see sweets, our brains secrete dopamine to reward us for eating them. When we can afford to be still, our bodies send signals to save energy. But what about now? We live in an era of extreme material abundance. This is what we call modernity. Supermarkets have an infinite supply of sugar. The phones in our pockets provide an infinite supply of social stimulation. The climate control in our rooms prevents us from feeling the change of seasons. This sounds like heaven, but for our ancient genes, it is the beginning of hell. Naval points out acutely in this book, in modern society, we have gradually drifted away from the lifestyle habits that align with natural laws, forming a pathological way of living. Social algorithms and the formulas of the food industry are all exploiting the vulnerabilities in our genes. They are saying to you, go ahead, have a donut, it feels good. Go ahead, scroll through short videos for 10 more minutes, it's relaxing. Go ahead, don't go work out, just lie down. This is what we call easy mode. Following your instincts, following the bait society offers you. This path is very comfortable, like riding a slide. But what is at the end of that slide? It's obesity, diabetes, scattered attention, and anxiety. Therefore, Naval proposed a formula worthy of being carved onto a tombstone. He said, easy choices, hard life. Hard choices, easy life. Easy choices, hard life. Hard choices, easy life. If you want to achieve self-salvation in this sick society, you must actively switch on hard mode. What does this mean? It means you must deliberately seek out the bitterness you would normally avoid. That cold shower every morning is training against comfort. Refusing the sweets in front of you is training against insulin resistance. Putting down your phone to meditate is training against dopamine addiction. This is like resistance training in a game. When you actively choose these short-term pains, your body produces an adaptive response. Your immune system is awakened, and your willpower muscles grow stronger.
Imagine this. You have two buttons in front of you. The red button is comfort now, and the price is that your future self becomes fragile, bloated, and dependent on doctors. The blue button is pain now, and the reward is sweat and hunger, but the reward is a future self with a body of steel and a clear mind. The vast majority of people will press the red button without hesitation and then complain that fate is unfair. But those who can achieve self-salvation do so because they see through the essence of this mechanism. They know that modern comfort is toxic. Only by actively embracing the difficult will life, one day in the future, become gentle toward you. Once we have fixed the hardware of the body, we must upgrade the software, our understanding of freedom. Why do we work so hard? Why do we invest and manage our finances? Why are you working so hard in front of your screen? I believe 99% of people have the same answer: for freedom. But when we are young, our understanding of freedom is often superficial. The freedom we imagine is freedom too. I have money, so I can go on vacation in the Maldives. I have power, so I can command others. I have resources, so I can buy sports cars and mansions as I please. There's nothing wrong with this. This is the first stage of freedom, the reward after solving material scarcity. But Naval reminds us that if you stop here, you will never be happy, because desire is a bottomless pit. You buy a sports car, then you want a yacht. You go to the Maldives, then you want to go to Mars. This kind of freedom is still that of a slave being led by the nose by desire. In the book, Naval shares the transformation of his definition of freedom. He says, "My old definition of freedom was freedom to do whatever I want. Now the freedom I seek is internal freedom, which is freedom from care." This is the second stage of freedom, freedom from, the freedom from something. This is a higher realm. It's not about what you can buy, but what you can avoid being controlled by. Do you have the freedom from anger? Do you have the freedom from anxiety? Do you have the freedom from being held hostage by social expectations? Do you have the freedom from being emotionally blackmailed by yourself? Try to imagine your brain as a room. Inside this room lives a crazy monkey. In Buddhism, it is called the monkey mind. This monkey jumps around all day, screaming and making a mess of the room. One moment it's worried about tomorrow's meeting, anxiety. The next it's regretting something said yesterday, remorse. And then it's jealous of someone else's success, comparison. Most of us mistake this monkey for ourselves. When the monkey is hungry, we feed it. When the monkey is angry, we get angry too. We think that by satisfying the monkey, we can find peace. Wrong. The more you feed it, the stronger it gets and the louder its voice becomes. True self-salvation is not about satisfying this monkey. It is about learning to stand outside the room, looking through the window and calmly watching the monkey go crazy. This is what Naval means by being free from care. It doesn't mean you have no emotions. It means you are no longer a slave to them. You can watch anger rise like a dark cloud on the horizon. You know it's a cloud, but you are not the cloud. You don't have to react to it. You let it float in and you let it float away. This is ultimate freedom. If you are worth billions but fly into a rage because of a look from a stranger, you are still a prisoner of your emotions. If you have nothing but can remain settled in the present moment, untainted by fear, then you are a true king.
Having said all this, you might say, "I can't do it. I was born with a short fuse. There's nothing I can do. The world is too terrible. My boss is too awful. How could I not be angry?" We are used to blaming the external world for our unhappiness. We spend our lives trying to change the world, change our spouses, change our bosses, or change our parents. We think that as soon as they get better, I will be happy. This is a massive delusion. Naval says something very profound. We all think that while mountains and rivers change easily, human nature is hard to change. But the truth is, we are malleable, and the world is essentially fixed. Listen carefully to the reversal in that sentence. The world is fixed. You can't change who wins an election, you can't change the economic cycle, and you can't change other people's prejudices.
but you are malleable. The brain is not a stone. The brain is a muscle or even a piece of code. Neuroscience has already proven neuroplasticity. Your personality, your habits, your temper, and your patterns of reacting to the world are actually an operating system written into you after birth. Since it is software, it can be rewritten. Since it is code, it can be debugged. Naval says, the greatest superpower is the ability to change yourself. This isn't just chicken soup for the soul, it's an operations manual. How do you operate it? You need to turn on your brain's debug mode. Imagine you are an engineer monitoring the operation of your own computer. When your brain starts to produce the emotion of envy, an ordinary person would immediately execute that program, start making bitter comments, and start suffering. But you, in debug mode, will hit the pause button. You take a step back, look at this string of code, and think, oh, there's a bug here. My brain is executing the envy.exe program. Why? Because it feels that someone else's success threatens my survival resources. This is an outdated, primitive algorithm that is of no help to me now. Then you make a decision. I don't need to run this program. You shut it down. Every moment of awareness is a system upgrade. Every second you pause before reacting in anger is a reshaping of your neural circuits. This is hard, extremely hard. It is harder than making $1 million. But this is the core of self-salvation. Don't expect the world to change for you. You must cultivate the ability to keep your inner world running smoothly, no matter what kind of mess the world becomes. When you master this ability to rewrite yourself, you master the initiative of your life. This is why health and freedom must be your own responsibility, because no one but you has root access to modify this code.
Enough theory. At Wisdom Compounding, we don't believe in empty talk. There is a vast chasm between knowing and doing, and the name of that chasm is action. To ensure you truly reclaim control of your life rather than just finishing another feel-good speech, here are 3 specific action protocols designed for you, rooted in the philosophy of Naval Ravikant. Step 1. Establish the non-negotiable morning. Starting today, I want you to strike this phrase from your vocabulary. I don't have time to exercise. That is a lie. The honest version is, exercise is not a priority for me right now. When you try saying, my health is not a priority, you'll realize how absurd it sounds. Starting tomorrow, the very first thing you do upon waking up is exercise, even if it's only 15 minutes, and even if it's just push-ups or burpees. Do it if the sky falls. Treat this as the highest level sacred contract you sign with yourself. Remember, if you can't even control your own body, what part of your life do you expect to control? Step 2. Practice intermittent fasting for the mind. Your body needs fasting to regain its sensitivity. Your brain is no different. The modern mind is like a force-fed goose, stuffed with information, news, and gossip. You need to empty it. Give yourself a period of vacuum time every day. It could be the 30 minutes after you wake up or a walk after work. No phone, no podcasts, no books, no purpose at all. Naval says, meditation is intermittent fasting for the mind. Let your mental inbox reach inbox 0. It is only in the silence that the voice of wisdom can be heard. Step 3. Eliminate the shoulds. Right now, look at your to-do list for today. How many items start with, I should? I should go to this party. I should be more social. I should reply to this pointless message. These shoulds are the shackles society places on you. Today, try to bravely reject just one of them. Stop wasting your time trying to please everyone. The brutal truth is this: you have no responsibility to make others happy. You only have a responsibility to keep yourself healthy and peaceful. When you learn to say no to the world, you are finally saying yes to yourself. Finally, I want to wrap up everything we've discussed today with a single perspective. What is the greatest tragedy of life? It is that when we are young, we trade our health for money,
And when we are old, we desperately try to use that money to buy back our health. It is a trade destined for loss. We often act like helpless children, waiting for a superhero to swoop down and save us from mediocrity, anxiety, and pain. But when you look around, you will realize that no one is coming. That hero isn't coming. The only person who can pull you out of the abyss is the person in the mirror. When you begin to put health and freedom at the absolute top of your list, do not feel guilty. You aren't abandoning the world. You are building the strongest version of yourself. Only when you are strong can your love for your family be substantial and your contribution to the world be powerful. Naval once summarized the 3 states of life. When we are young, we have time and health, but no money. In middle age, we have money and health, but no time. In old age, we have money and time, but no health. Most people spend their lives circling these 3 regrets. The true winners in life are those who break this curse, those who possess time, health, and money all at once. It is difficult, but I believe you can do it, because salvation lies in your own hands. Once we learn to care for our bodies and see through the games of society, we ultimately face the grandest and most inescapable question of life, the passage of time. When everything eventually returns to nothingness, how should we spend this life? In the next episode, we will enter the final philosophical chapter of the Almanack of Naval Ravikant, EP09, The Present is All We Have. Anxiety stems from fantasies of the future. Regret stems from an obsession with the past. This is wisdom compounding. May wisdom be with you. I'll see you in the next episode.